Hi curl friends, it's Mickey B. It's time to energize and moisturize. I think that this is number 7. I didn't check before I hit record, so forgive me if I'm wrong. I've been a little busy. As you see, I've gotten off schedule, which is bugging me because I don't want to get off schedule. I don't like to start something and not finish, because I do believe that I am on a good track right now and my scheduling is good and my timing is good, but it did get a little busy for me in the last couple of weeks. So here I am. Let's jump into it. I want to get today's, well, let me just do this part first so I don't have to segue. I'm going to be using my curl enhancing smoothie today. I washed my hair. I went swimming, I washed my hair, and I just threw some conditioner on it. Okay, I got my plain water bottle and my curl enhancing smoothie. That's what I'll be doing today, using today for this moisturizing session. And I do have just a little bit more of this Cantu Shea Butter leave-in conditioning and repair cream. And I want to use that up. Hopefully it doesn't not blend well with this one. Because I know in the past that product used to have issues when you tried to mix it with other ones. So, alright. So that's what the hair is doing. Oh, the other thing on the hair is I colored my hair August 17th. That's a Monday. Today is Friday, August 28th. So it's been a week and 4 days. And you see how quickly it's coming back already, which is why I don't even try to stay on schedule with it too much. It's just too much of a routine to get caught into, and not too much work. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Too much work that I'm not willing to do just for it to come back this fast. There you go. I said it. Now, let's get to the quote, because if I didn't say it, welcome to our, it's time to energize and moisturize, where we energize and moisturize our hair and we energize our soul. Today we're going to energize our soul with the quote from my little ceramic jar, which is right here. Let's get the quote out. And it says, it says, if we don't want to be led into temptation, we'd better check to see who's leading. That's a good one. I like it. If we don't want to be led into temptation, then we'd better check to see who's leading. And this is anonymous. There's no name listed after it, so I don't know where this quote comes from. But I like it. If we don't want to be led into temptation, we better check to see who's leading, because many things, I'm sure, for a lot of people, can come to mind on this quote. Because a lot of times people hang out with people and do things with people, and then when something happens and they get in trouble, then they want to start blaming and pointing the finger, when you should have done your due diligence from the beginning to find out who you were listening to and hanging out with, and if they were up to any good. So if you truly don't want to get into any problems and have any issues in your life, then make sure you check out who you're hanging around with. That is just wonderful advice that everybody can use at all ages. I'm trying to think of an example that I can use for this. This one is definitely self-explanatory as far as I'm concerned. If you know people are up to no good and hanging out and doing things that are not productive and they're getting in and out of trouble, why on earth would you want to join that? And then you join it and then something happens, and then you want to talk about your disappointment with it and with that person, when you knew going in it was a situation where it could only, oh, I thought I hurt my phone, where it can only lead to disappointment. I don't know how much more I can say on that. I'm trying to cite an example, because to me, you don't really need to say a lot. The quote says it all. The quote truly says it all. One thing that I used to say a lot was, or think a lot from time to time, is when you see people who get into trouble, but they didn't have a troubled past, but they hooked up with people who they knew were no good. Like, let's say you have a friend who was married and had kids and nice house, husband, and they had a good job, husband had a good job, and they had a great little life. And then you find out later that this friend, who was very smart, is strung out on drugs, hooked up with a drug dealer. I mean, just life went down the tube. Cheated on her husband with a drug dealer, had a baby with a drug dealer. The drug dealer was on house arrest. This is a true story, by the way. And this wasn't a person who grew up in that situation. This is a person who was surrounded by people who had nothing to do with that lifestyle and knew going in that there was no good could come of that, but yet got caught up in that lifestyle anyway and lost everything. And I wonder, when I see those stories, how on earth could you get pulled into that when you know going in what the situation and what the potential outcome could be? You know it's not going to be a good one if you get caught up in that type of lifestyle. So I think that quote kind of makes me think of, when I think of things like that, check out what the history has been in certain situations. Find out people's backgrounds, find out what they're doing, who they're hanging out with, how they were raised. All that stuff plays a part, because temptation can come at you from all different angles, all different areas. You can find temptation at your job. You work for a crooked boss, they might try to pull you in. If you know that's not cool and it's not going to work just because they're the boss, doesn't mean that you're going to escape any consequences if things come to a head. So before you are tempted or led into temptation, you want to make sure you check to see who's doing the leading, or however the quote went. But yeah, I don't think that there is much more that I can say on that. So I'm going to flip the card over after I do this twist and see what that other quote says, and maybe we can elaborate some more. But if you guys out there listening have an example that you want to cite that you think can pertain to this quote that I just read, then feel free to add it in the comments, because the more the merrier as far as different points of view and people inputting things that they know about real life. It's good to share real life situations so that people know that this stuff happens in real life. It's not just some words on a card. So let's look at the other side. This one says, "Dear God, I want to follow you, but sometimes I find myself distracted by the things this world offers. Please help me to renew my focus on you." I'll read it again. Dear God, I want to follow you, but sometimes I find myself distracted by the things this world offers. Please help me to renew my focus on you. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that. This world has so many distractions, and when you're trying to do the right thing and lead a good life, there are things around every corner to tempt you into doing something that you don't need to be doing, or that will not benefit you. It's just something to distract you from your plan. And this is something that I consciously try to stay aware of every day of my life. You know, do I really need this? Is this important? I analyze the things that I do, the decisions that I make before I make them. I try to analyze them thoroughly for this very reason, because I don't need to get caught up in anything that's not going to benefit me. And for that reason, sometimes it's difficult for me to make decisions, because I try to analyze it from every area, because I don't want to look back and regret anything. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I try to say, what was that? I try to keep in the back of my mind, what would Jesus do? I know a lot of people have heard that saying. And even though I know I'm not even close to being as perfect as Jesus, I do use it as a guideline, because sometimes it brings you back to humanity. It brings you back to empathy and empathizing for others, because we do sometimes, well, I won't say we, I will say me, because I can't speak for everybody. But I know it's easy for me to jump into more of a selfish mode, like this is what, you know, I'm dealing with, and I gotta do this and I gotta do that, and I don't want to hear about, you know, or I can't help them, or that's not my responsibility. You know, it's like I don't want to look at things like that all the time, because we're here to serve others, and in serving others we serve ourselves, and that's where we benefit greater than anything we could have ever planned. And I've lived that as well. So when I can take the focus off of me and put it on those, you know, being helpful, and putting it on God, back on God, it helps me to make decisions that are truly beneficial to me, versus that aren't going to help me at all, and it's just putting me in a more selfish kind of a mindset. Because I don't believe that's why we're here. And I know when I'm helping others and I'm being productive the way that I believe God would want me to be productive, I really feel like my life goes really well. It goes very smoothly. Things happen, good things happen that I wouldn't even have planned for. But because of that, I always look back and I reflect. So I try to continuously be a good person throughout, you know, and on things as little as when people invite you to something, I try to go. However, I've had to adjust that too. Here's the thing about that. When you're trying to do good, do the right thing, and be a nice person, do it within reason. Don't let people take advantage of you or put you in a position where you're getting frustrated because what you're giving is never being reciprocated. And again, you're not doing it for reciprocation, but wouldn't it be nice for people to be there for you the way that you're there for them? And again, now this is where it becomes a slippery slope, because we're not supposed to think like that. But on the same token, I believe you're not supposed to just be a doormat and just let people use you and keep on stepping, and then you finally need something from somebody and then they're never there for you. Because I've experienced that a lot. When you're a nice person, people love it. They take advantage of you, especially if you're a person who's self-sufficient. Like, I'm very independent, self-sufficient. I don't ask anybody for anything, and if I ever do ask, you know I really need it. That's how I like to play that card. I struggle, I sacrifice, I do what I need to do. But if I'm in so deep somewhere, which I don't think I've ever really, well, I take that back. One time when it had to do with child care. I knew it. Here comes the phone. Okay, I've got a customer coming, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this twist and go get ready, and then I'll come back and finish talking. But I was going to say something. Well, my mind is just so much racing through my head all the time. Thoughts just come and go. They don't hang around. It's like, if you don't get me out now, I'm leaving. It's basically how it is. But I'm going to come back and finish talking, because I already forgot where I left off last. So I got to go watch back the tape anyways. So I will, oh, I know what I wanted to say. I did want to say real quickly, since I'm going to end it right here temporarily, is that my hair, since I've been doing this energizing and moisturizing on a regular basis, it's so different. It feels so soft. Even when I just wet it and rub down the Giovanni deep conditioning, what is it called? Deeper moisture conditioner. I just put that on. I don't have all the other products like for the Kimay tooth mix, And my hair is so soft and moisturized just from that alone. No oils, no aloe vera. That's just when I'm rushing and I'm doing a rush job. And then these two pieces right here were my roughest pieces, meaning they were always super tangled. Now I can just wet them and smooth them out, and they're just as in compliance as the other sections of my hair. So my hair is really responding to this. I'm saying all that to say that it's really responding to this energizing and moisturizing on a regular basis. I hope you guys are doing this with me so you can experience what I'm talking about, because your hair will comply, it will conform, it will respond. I believe this, mine is, so I'm hoping that you would get that same benefit. So if you're not doing this, get on board and see what the difference it'll make in your hair. Alright, I'll be back. I gotta go get ready for this customer. I tried to play back my tape to find out where I left off, what I was saying, but short of me having to go and upload or download, I always get that backwards, to go download it onto the computer. I was trying to play it back on the camera, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So therefore, I don't know where I left off. I know I left where I left off talking about my hair and how it was responding, but before that is where I forgot. So I'm just gonna pick up and just start yakking like I always do, and maybe it'll come back to me, because trying to remember, I don't want to go through all that rewinding and whatnot to find my spot. So we'll just proceed now. Something just got in my eye. But I did want to stress again that my hair has really responded to this. And the fact that I put color on my hair makes a big difference too, because I feel like coloring my hair kind of makes it feel different. Like it's different to me. It's different from before when I didn't color it. And I don't even color it a lot, but I do infrequently color it regularly, but infrequently. Like I try to go a month and a half to 2 months sometimes before I put the color back on. So I'm not abusing it, but it's still regularly. And I think that my hair just, it feels different to me. When I moisturize it, it feels fine. But when it dries, I don't know, it just feels different to me. That's why I don't try to do a lot of styles and stuff with it, because I don't know how to, I'm trying to find words to help get the point across. And when I say it feels different, it feels lighter, like it feels thinned out a lot more. When I comb it out like this, it feels a little thicker, but when it's not combed out and it's just stretched and twisted, it feels thin to me. It still feels thin when I comb it, but it feels a little better than before I comb it out like this. So I don't know what's going on. My hair just, it's healthy. It doesn't feel like it's not healthy. It's not a feeling like that, but it's a feeling like it's changing. And I guess one of the most common deep descriptions I can give is like it feels like it's thinned out more. Could be my imagination. It might have always been like this, but why would I just be noticing this now? I don't know. Now, I haven't really tried to style it like I used to, but I feel like it won't turn out the same. It just feels different, and I'm kind of feeling like it's time to just do like a really good big chop of a cut kind of thing. But that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to mention that because I don't know if that's normal. Like, are other people experiencing this where your hair, and I noticed it more as my hair started to grow out. As it got longer, it just seemed like it goes through so many more changes than when it was shorter. It felt nice and thick and luscious and healthy and ready to be played with and twisted and all of that. But now as it gets longer, maybe the length does something to it. Maybe the weight of the length. But I just wanted to point that out because I'm stalling right now. Because I have to look at that card again and refresh on the quote so I can finish talking about that. But in the interim, I thought I would just mention this about my hair. And it definitely needs a trim badly. These ends are horrific. Horrific. But this is all that I really do to my hair. I do this and I put it up in something because the color doesn't last long enough for me to want to style it and have to deal with that without having to deal with that skunk headband that naturally occurs, which is why I don't play in it as much as I used to, because the color doesn't last long. And that's why I resort to the hats and the scarves for wrapping it up and hiding it behind, you know, hiding the edges so that it all looks like one color. And again, I'm not trying to hide anything, or I'm not, you know, I don't want people to know I have gray hair. I just don't like how it looks in the front of my head, and it, to me, it just messes up the style. I just want one color. I mean, sometimes I think it looks very mature and distinguished. I like that aspect of it. I just don't like the two-tonedness of it. That's my dilemma. Alright, now that my hands are free, let's go back to the card. Dear God, I want to follow you, but sometimes I find myself distracted by the things this world offers. Please help me to renew my focus on you. Now, I think I was getting ready to say that it could be little things that get your focus off of what you should be doing. Little, it's not always something major and drastic, but this world is filled with so many distractions, it's not even funny. And you have to be able to recognize and analyze yourself and look at yourself and be honest with yourself and know whether or not you're doing something productive or not. I try to do that a lot. I try when I'm making decisions. As I was saying before, it's hard for me to make decisions because I'm always trying to figure out, is this something that's going to be a benefit and bring good energy into my life, or is it going to be drama? And now I'm talking something as simple as when you go out to make a purchase of a new cell phone. I run into problems with those a lot, which is why I try to hold on to ones that I have before I have to change something, because it's never what they tell you it's going to be. Oh, we've got this great plan. They tell you this, you know, you can get the phone today for this amount of money and your monthly bill will stay the same. It's just the phone's only gonna cost you an extra $20, you know, these little promotion type things, and it sounds wonderful, and you say, okay, sign me up. And then they sign you up, you get your first phone bill, is like $297, and you're like, hello, this is not what they said at the store. Now you're caught up in all this red tape, and try to get a refund with the telephone company. Oh, we can't do it, it'll reflect on your next bill. I think all that stuff is a scam because they want you to forget, because they're not going to give it to you, and they're hoping that you're not going to pay attention. I had a 6-month session with AT&T. I will say it, AT&T. I'm still with them because I'm too pissed to move right now, because I don't want to go through that again with another company. And I have my business phone with them, and I need to keep that number, and I can't take the risk of anything happening that my customers won't be able to contact me. So I feel like, in a sense, I'm stuck with them, at least on that one phone. Okay, I'm getting all off into AT&T and this phone now, but the point is, it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction. And things like this get your focus off, because now I'm getting pissed about this and pissed about that. And my focus is not on what God would want me to do. This is just a phone. This is just a phone. One part of, a small part of your existence. But I get so caught up in these things that my focus sometimes is affected. And now I'm running around or walking around here pissed and upset and not enjoying other things or appreciating things that I should be enjoying or appreciating because my focus is now screwed up. So again, there are many distractions like that we get caught up in, and the bigger things get lost in the sauce. The big things that we should be focusing on kind of get lost in the sauce, and they are unattended. This piece of hair won't come there. So to me, that's what this quote is kind of speaking to that issue of keeping your head right. Is your head right? Are you focusing on the right things? Are you trying to do the right things? Are you progressing in your life? Are you putting all your energies where it's going to benefit you and hold you in good graces with yourself, with God, with everybody around you? Is it benefiting other people? Your decisions, are they helping other people? Are you just focusing on yourself? Because focusing on other people's problems definitely helps take your mind off of yours, and in a lot of cases it makes you feel better about your situation when you know what other people are going through. So sometimes I used to tell people, if you think you're having a bad day, just call other people and ask them how they're doing, and it'll put things in perspective for you a lot of the times. Because we sometimes can look at our situation and think it's the end of the world when you're really in a good place, but your focus is off. So that's why when you focus on God, it kind of in a sense means focusing on helping others, because that's what He would have us do. And through that, you're going to see that you are okay, and that you could be in a worse situation than where you are now, and it'll bring new light to what you're going through. And even if you felt that it didn't do that, it'll give you a peace when you know how God works and how sometimes things happen in your life. He allows things to happen in your life. Nobody's going to skirt through life and not deal with anything. I mean, I don't think that's ever going to happen. If it does, I would like to meet that person. If Jesus couldn't go through His short life without issues and drama, and He did nothing wrong to anyone, I mean, what makes you think you're going to be so lucky? So your focus on the right thing, meaning God. If you don't believe in God, then whoever or whatever you believe in that is positive and guides the way you live, keep your focus. For me, it's God. Keep your focus on God, and your decisions and all your choices in life will be that much easier, as well as your experiences, good or bad. You know, you have to go through something in this world. It's not always going to be fun and easy, but it gets better. And that much I can say. But you're still going to have the memory of things, but it gets better. It all is a part of the plan. And nobody's changing that anytime soon. So if your focus is on God, He keeps you aware of this. And you know this. So your life will be a lot more livable and enjoyable as you're living it, because you know how it works. And you know God does not forsake you. He doesn't allow, He wants you to be happy. But happiness, to me, comes from growth. You have to experience things to obtain appreciation for things in this life. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is going through things helps you appreciate the things, other things, when you come out of it. You have a different mindset. You look through a different set of colored glasses. Everything isn't rosy anymore, but you find a new appreciation. You find a way to appreciate things differently, things that you didn't think had any meaning before. Now you can see meaning in things that are truly meaningful, and that you can look at things that aren't going to bring any value to your life, you can look and identify those things a lot easier once you've gone through things. So God allows you to experience life, and He allows you to make your choices while experiencing life. So that way when you come around, it's on your own accord, but then that's when you can see clearly what is best for you and what is not best for you. And then that's when you go and you share that with somebody else, and that's how things kind of hopefully will stay on track, is through our experiences. That's why we serve others, because God works on us through others, through our experiences and through other people. Because, you know, physically He can't come down here and put a spanking on you, but He can do it through other people and through your experiences, but not physically. That's how I used to look at it. When I was younger, I used to think, oh, growing up, I can't wait to get older, because when you're older, you don't have parents who can, you know, tell you what to do or tell you what you can't do, who, you know, you can't get no more spankings and all that stuff. And, you know, when you're a kid, you're thinking about how you're going to be free from all that once you get away from your parents. However, life is what kicks your butt. Your parents don't need to be there anymore. It's your life experiences, it's your choices, and it's who you hanging out with, who you associate with, who you become. That's why it's good to believe in something. Get your kids in church early so you have that sense of consciousness, that sense of right or wrong. Learning and teaching them how the world works, so when things hit them, they can navigate their way through it and get through it and understand this is a part of life, not why is this happening to me. You don't want them to go out there stuck on why is this happening to me. You want them to go out there and know that things are going to happen, but you learn from them and you get strength from them and you move on. So that is what I'm getting from this quote. You know, getting your focus back on God, because you're tempted by the things that the world has to offer. You're always going to be tempted. Always. And the world is always going to be offering. As you can see, they're putting stuff out so fast your head's spinning. And there are people out there trying to keep up with all that crap, and they're miserable behind it because they don't realize this is empty. This is not fulfilling any real pertinent need that you need to have fulfilled. This is a temporary satisfaction. It's just like a drug, and it's going to keep you wanting more. It's going to get you hooked on, and I'm talking all these distractions like drugs, alcohol, in and out of relationships, buying toys and cars, or, you know, just anything that's not going to instill something worthwhile in you. You don't look to those things. Don't get distracted by those things and think that they're doing anything positive for you. You know, get them within reason. Get them if you need them. Let them fulfill a need that you have, a real valid need, not just because everybody else is doing it. Like right now, I need to go upgrade my phone because the thing is just, it's old, it's not working anymore. I can't use it in the house, and I don't even want to do that because it's like, last thing, I'm not into all that stuff anymore. When I was younger, I was more caught up, but now to me it's like a chore. It's just a means to an end. And I am not happy with how they changed all these plans, and I don't think that anybody should be paying this much for a freaking telephone. So, can you hear the disgust in my voice? I just think it's a ridiculous waste of money. Yeah, it's fun, pretty cute, all the little bells and whistles just to distract you more. I don't want to get caught up in that. I like having my peace. And it irritates me on that level too, because now, yeah, I have my business phone, my cell phone, my house phone. I'm like, there's an email. There's too many ways for people to get in contact with me. It's like sometimes I just want to be alone. Please don't kill my vibe. And then every time I turn around, something's ringing, buzzing, alerting. It's irritating, distracting. And I fight it nail, tooth, and comb. And these kids around me love it. In fact, sometimes they'll go and answer it for me. I'm like, I don't need you to do that. I heard it, and if I didn't react, you don't need to either. I don't want somebody just having access to me all day long. I can't even hear my own thoughts and just escape it. I like to just go water the grass, be in my garden without trying to run back and forth to answer a phone. So as long as I know everybody around me is okay, then that's when I'm really relaxed about it. But if I feel like I need to be by phone in case something happens, in case of emergency, then that's when I'll try to stay close to it or have it on me. But I hate that. I just sometimes don't want to have a phone, or as I call, a distraction on me. I'm not from that generation. I don't enjoy that. And when you're so distracted all the time, you can't hear when God is talking to you and when He's working with you, because you're too busy focusing on something that's stupid. Well, maybe not stupid, but in my opinion, it's kind of stupid. You know, to just hold on to a freaking electronic device just in the chance that somebody is trying to say, what are you doing? I will never embrace that. Never. There's reasons that it comes in handy, and for those reasons I can appreciate it. You know, in emergencies, you really need to get in touch with someone, you know, a pressing need. But for what it has become, I can't get with that, what it has become. This whole socialness thing, people walking around trying to look important, trying to look like somebody needs them all the time. Everybody just needs me. Everybody, hold on, I got a call coming in. It's like, that's ridiculous. We were doing fine before all that stuff was introduced into our lives, and now, as with everything, it's abused. People abuse stuff and they turn it into something negative. And these telemarketers get access, another distraction. So when they call me now, because I'm like, how did they even get my cell phone numbers? I get the house and stuff, but now they're on my cell phones, they're in my emails, they're in my mailbox. But when they call me on my cell phone or at the house, I just hang up. And I don't even, like, when I say hang up, I don't even say hello. I don't even put the phone to my ear. I just take the phone, hit the green button, then I hit the red button, and then I hang it up. Because I don't even want to hear it ring. I don't even want it to bother my answering machine, nothing. Just leave me alone. So to keep focus, it's a fight, trying to hold on to your focus. And I fight it every day. I will not conform to all this madness. It is not productive in my book. I gotta go out, walk the dog, clean out my garage. Just do something beneficial, do something productive. And I feel much better after that. Exercise is always good. And the dog loves a good walk. Go pull some weeds from my garden. My house looks nice. The instant gratification thing that you're not going to get to by sitting and holding a phone all day long. So yeah, having your focus on God just makes your life more meaningful, if you ask me, because if you're focusing on God properly, it's all going to be meaningful. Because all the Bible and all the passages, they're all things to help you live a better life and be a better person and to enjoy your life and enjoy who you are. So you can't go wrong by doing that. If you did what the Bible said and you did it within reason, now don't be an idiot and let people just take advantage and walk all over you. I'm not suggesting that, but you know, put on your common sense hat. You see, there's a text right there. It's probably not even important, and I don't even want to look at it, so I'm not going to right now because I'm busy. But if I get a couple more, then maybe I'll look. But that's what I hate about it, because now it's like it's on my mind. It's like, okay, something came through, I should look at it because it could be something urgent, or it just could be something stupid. and then I've stopped and I've forgotten what I was doing because I wouldn't acknowledge something that wasn't even important. That's what I don't like about it. So on that note, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and finish and then come back at the end, because this is gonna be long enough, I hope, to get you through a session on your hair, and I don't want to have to download and then come back and finish the second half. If I could just have it all on one tape, that would be wonderful for me. And I enjoy doing these, but I don't want to have to do it in 2 parts, because I think the first part is definitely long enough. And all I'm doing is rambling just to get you through doing your hair. But if you guys want to share anything in the comments, of course I'll read them. I'd love to read them. If you have anything to add to these topics that I'm speaking of. And for those of you who are watching, I appreciate you watching and commenting and sharing your feedback with me that you enjoy watching these, because it's really just me trying to be positive, just to keep everybody doing something positive to their hair and developing good habits. I definitely am getting a good result from this, so I hope you are too. And if you haven't decided to join me yet, I'm still here anytime you're ready. Just have your stuff and get your hair done. And you can share your comments with me. I mean, any comments, anything with me in the comments, you know, that you might have experienced or that you can shed some light on these topics. Because I'm not the only one who reads the comments. Everybody does. So you never know who might get something from your comment. And of course you know that as well. So I'm going to finish these last 2 and I'll be right back with my end result. Okay, I'm all finished. And I'm going to just say goodbye. I just wanted to show you the end result. And I hope, like I said before, that you join me today in this energizing and moisturizing session so that your hair can start responding to moisture on a regular basis. I enjoyed talking with you today, and I look forward to the next video. So I think that's it. And write comments down below. I love to see comments. I love to know what you're thinking. And yeah, and if you have anything that you want me to talk on, I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to try and incorporate it into the next session. Okay, you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk, or I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.